And welcome back. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking like this is going to be another video like the last ones. No, this is going to be completely different. This is going to be a completely different thing. This is going to be more like of an olive branch video. So I know there's going to be a lot of people who don't like me because of my prior videos, and there's probably going to be a lot of people that have supported me from my prior videos, which I appreciate both. So let's go ahead and do something a little bit fun. So I'm inviting you guys to do something a little bit more fun with me. So with this, I'm going to list out some of the most underrated games in gaming history. Now, this list is completely opinionated. This is based off of the games that I've played. So with this, I want to go ahead and possibly give you a little list. So this is going to be the first part of this. Now, with this, in the comments, I want you to go ahead and comment either one game or a couple of games that you feel are underrated. I'm going to list 5 per video. So with this, let's go ahead and start off with number 1. Okay, so with this one, we're actually going to start off with Xenosaga. And this came out in between the PS2, and it had 3 episodes to it. In my opinion, I think this is a very underrated game. There's so much of this story that's absolutely amazing from Namco, and I think they are missing out with bringing this game back into a remaster. I think this game as an RPG would do absolutely amazing. I think a lot of people have looked at the fact that they were big fans of this RPG, and then with this coming back, I'm telling you right now, so much of the love for the story, the love for the characters such as Cosmos, Shion, Chaos, even Junior will come back. And in my opinion, I think this was one that was just like more of Namco's Final Fantasy, and especially for a turn-based video game, it's absolutely amazing. Now, here's my second choice. My second choice would be Resident Evil Outbreak. And it's not, I know I have File 2, but I'm talking about File 1 and 2. Reason being is because this is the time where survival horror type games have been very, very famous. We have had multiple Resident Evil multiplayer games, and in my opinion, the old school style game plus things such as, the absolute style of working with your teammates, making sure that they're okay, making sure that you're not infected with the virus, and you're going through each different story of Resident Evil and some of the actual stories that you have not known in Resident Evil, and you're playing co-op maps with it. I think it would be a great thing. I think some people would see that, hey, you know what, this would be a great multiplayer game to play for crossplay for Xbox, PlayStation, and because of the fact of the graphics, it could run on the Switch. Now, with this happening, I would love to see Capcom come with this multiplayer game. I think this game, especially for Resident Evil, would be a major sell. I think especially now where they're going with survival horror, where the new Resident Evil games are just as scary, they're just as good. You have games like Silent Hill, and you have games that bring such scare factors such as Alien Isolation, Outlast, and even things like Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I think with multiplayer type games like this, and even for love for games like Dead by Daylight, I think this would be really good for people to go ahead and get their hands on now in this modern day to play, especially if you add in crossplay. I think this would be a hit if you remastered both of them, give them into a bundle, and add the online multiplayer. Now, if you don't know what this is, this in my opinion is probably an answer for when Conkers wasn't a thing during, I would say, later on consoles, until the Xbox came out. This was a thing where if you loved Conker's Bad Fur Day and you loved the thing of teddy bear type characters or animals using guns, this was a choice. This first came out for the Sega Dreamcast, and then they remade it for the PS2, and in my opinion, I think it's really great of a game. I think it's fun to play. I think it is very interesting of a game that actually was looked past. You see things once again, Conker's Fur Day being a major inspiration for this game, and I am very, very happy that I have actually played both versions, and I have this version. I was trying to do a walkthrough, but then you know what, I ended up getting to a point where I was like, you know, I couldn't play it no more. But I kind of got bored of it. I think that's the only downside to it. But otherwise, if you can maintain staying like intact with this game, so much fun, so much ideal is good with this game. You still have the gun violence and everything, but with that, it's also lowered down enough for kids to play. So with that, you know, if you ever get your hands on this, like in a mom and dad shop or possibly a ROM, I would try this, especially, you know, with the gameplay where you can actually play multiplayer. I believe 4-player you know, deathmatch against each other, and it's a decent game. It's really good. I would say the equivalent for this type of game right now is Friends versus Friends, but you know, that's just where I'm at with it. But I would definitely go ahead and give this one a try. This was one of Namco's amazing games during the 2000 era when PS2 was majorly a thing. When you saw demo discs, when you saw things like, you know, the jam packs, and you saw this game on it, you would enjoy it 100%. This is a game that I've loved so much, and I've played so many times, and I've beaten so many times. I've even done a whole entire walkthrough of this game on my channel. So if you haven't seen it yet, by all means, go into the playlists, look for it, and enjoy it. But with that, this game was so good that it was on the list to get a sequel. But the problem is with that, we've never seen it get a sequel. I think right now that this would be a really good game to a point where, you know, people can enjoy this one more time if they remastered it. Now, if you guys don't know, that the voice actor for the character, which the character goes by Ninja, he is actually voiced by the person who does Fry from Futurama. And the fact that, you know, you had a big name like that voice acting him is amazing. The gameplay is fluent. The gameplay is fun. It's a mixture of slight gore, cartoonish violence, plus a little bit of different type of challenges, such as hunting down your enemies, gathering all the red coins, beating the level before the clock ends, and so on and so forth. This game is just utterly amazing. Pure 10 out of 10 for me. And you know, as I say, if you get your hands on this, whether it's on PlayStation 2, they had a GameCube version, I think they had a version for Xbox, it is definitely worth it. And I think Namco needs to come out with a remastered version. I really need to see a remastered version for this game. I think it's going to be worth it 100% for a remastered version of this game, to a point where they could possibly do a sequel and probably finish the sequel. I would love to see it. This game was special. It was the idea of robotic shoot-ups, robotic, you know, adventure, robotic, you know, I would say like a third-person shooter type game, plus intense, hilarious comedy all together. There's an amazing story of, you know, major rebellion, a major story of you know, being part of like an army to rebel against a giant big colony called called the Droids. And with that, it was just so funny. It was so fun. It had amazing multiplayer. I think this game was really, really great when it came out. I think a lot of people did not understand how fun this was on a level that, you know, as I said, once you kept on shooting the robots, you hear funny lines out of them. You see them explode. You did things such as, you know, riding in amazing giant vehicles and do damage in those vehicles. Taking control of other robots. Had weapons such as a mining laser. It's called the Spitter, which was a machine gun. A Ripper, which was, you know, a gun that shot different types of I would say discs of doom. And I believe that this was something that if you didn't have like something like Ratchet and Clank, then, you know, this would be like a secondary choice, but it was a great secondary choice. These are games, especially not just this one, but the prior ones that I had, that require remasters, because I think when they came out during the times of the PS2 era, they got shine, but not as much as they were supposed to, because that was an era where a lot of people think that these were just kid games. No, they weren't just kid games. There was a lot more to it, and there was a lot more of the comical relief, like comical relief enough to a point where I believe this would be on Adult Swim. But if you get your hands on this, Glitch in the System, definitely a game that people should try out. So in the comments below, by all means, go ahead and state any type of game, or go ahead and state a list of any type of games that you guys feel is underrated. I'm going to post different types of videos of gameplay from each title that is listed in the video, and I'm going to do this as a series. I want you guys to go ahead and stay tuned for the series. I want to see your opinions on the choices that I put out there, and also the fact of, you know, maybe this is a game that you probably think otherwise, what your opinion on it, or if anything, if you agree or disagree, and that's very important for that. But with that, definitely subscribe to the EHG community. Definitely turn your notifications for when we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us on our Facebook group, our Discord channel. Make sure to go ahead and check out our merchandise and to support us on Patreon. But this is Nico from the EHG community. Stay tuned for another video. Remember that there's always something amazing on the horizon.
Your orders, Xian? The enemies have been exterminated.
Here's what I'm thinking. Come here. Yeah. Help! Don't come here! Come on!
I don't think so.
Come on! Come on!
I have this feeling.
Excuse me. Come on!
Watch out! Those ranks will tear you to pieces if you are not ready. Mash them to bits.
Feel my steel.
Try jumping this gap. To run up walls, Jump onto the wall and keep pushing forwards to run up it. To run along this wall, jump onto the wall and push right and forwards. Try to get the angle just right when you jump onto the wall. This checkpoint will record your progress. See that?
Need to kill stuff.
That's a chain point. You can use your chain to swing across big gaps. Try jumping from chain point to chain point. To grind along rails and pipes, simply jump on them and you'll be away. Your sword hover will carry you further than a double jump. Remember this if you see a big gap. Try using your uppercut to lift the enemy into the air.